Akira.iman and welcome back to my channel. To my new subscribers, hi, it's Akira.iman and I hope you enjoy this video, and do subscribe. To my returning subscribers, hi, welcome back. Hope you guys do enjoy. Do subscribe, like, share, comment, and do all the fun stuff. This is episode 3 of Mental Diaries, where I told you guys that I will have people over, or just for me to document how I feel on that specific day. Vlogs, sit down videos, or even story times where you guys see how I deal with my anxiety and depression. But today I have my cousin.
What's up, guys?
Who's joining me today. So we're gonna have like a small conversation about mental health issues, and he also is going through the same thing. So I hope you guys do enjoy the video. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about, and I hope it helps someone out there.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
I wrote everything down in my purple sparkly book, the questions that I'm going to ask him. I don't want it to be an interview type of video, just us having a dialogue, so nothing awkward or anything like that. Just think of chilling with your younger sister. Okay,
All right, cool.
So mental health questions. I'm going to ask you, how long have you been? What are you actually suffering from?
Oh, okay. So I was clinically diagnosed with anxiety, and to answer your second question, was in 2017. So yeah, it's been about 4 years now, 5 years.
Yeah,
going on to 5.
it was basically the same time, because I was diagnosed in 2016 with me. So he was basically the first person to actually explain everything to me, because when I was diagnosed, he was having like anxiety attacks and at hospital. So yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
So what things affect your mental wellness? First question.
So my triggers,
Yeah.
basically. It can be many things, but for me in specific, some of my triggers is stress.
Mm-hmm.
So work-related stress can give me triggers, and when I am sort of triggered and I'm having anxiety symptoms, then other things come into play, like loud music.
Yeah.
So I used to like going to concerts and festivals. It was also part of my job, and now it's kind of like difficult because loud music, triggers me sometimes, and bright lights,
Yeah.
things like that, and also I mentioned stress, just when I have a lot on my plate, usually that triggers symptoms and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Okay, second question, how does your mental health struggles manifest for your physical?
yeah, that's a tricky one, because when you get these anxiety symptoms, you think you're like sick. Like you think like I've got, I don't know, a condition or something, or sometimes you think I think I've got flu because like my chest.
Exactly. Yeah, it starts off as like if it's flu, but then other things come into play where it's just like how you feel in a certain environment. I know when I get those kind of like symptoms, I lock myself away in the room. I can't speak. I'll just like cage in. I can't communicate with people properly, and they just like last for days. So with you, it's like,
yeah, it'll definitely last for days. And the first time I was diagnosed, I went to like 3 different doctors because I thought I was sick, and they didn't they were like, nothing's wrong with you, until I went to a neurologist. So like I thought it was a physical sickness, until they start pulling out the medical stuff, and they're like, nothing's wrong with you physically, and then you start to realize, oh damn, it's anxiety.
it's a mental thing.
It's a mental thing.
Hey guys, mental health issues is difficult. Question 3, are there any signs you have noticed when you are overwhelmed or anxious?
So for most of my life, like I used to like bite my nails, and I still kind of do, but when I'm in like a better space and I'm positive, I don't bite my nails.
Yeah.
And that's what I've realized, like that pattern, that like when I'm chilled and stuff, I don't bite my nails and stuff like that. But when I'm like stressed and going through it and anxiety symptoms, that's when I bite my nails the most, and I'll catch myself in the moment like, yo, I'm stressed, guys, or, I've got some sort of anxiety. And also like obviously, I'll get like, heart palpitations, things like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, but that's how I sort of realize when I'm under pressure, like, and biting nails is kind of like self-harm, you could say.
Because you can like do it overboard.
You can do it overboard.
Yeah, with me it's more of like I start fidgeting a lot. Like my mind is all over the place. I can't be in one place for the longest time, or I just shut down and don't speak at all. I don't bite my nails. That is not for me. That is not for me. Fourth question: what does your progress with mental health look like?
I think the progress has been good. So when I like first got diagnosed, right, I used to work for this company, and this company had like older people.
Yeah.
And they like would like tell me like two of the ladies were like they suffered from anxiety, and these are the medications they were on. So I got like a lot of like support, you know, during that time.
Yeah.
So within that time, they told me that they've been, you know, with anxiety or depression for 12 years, and I'm like, that's how long it stays with you?
It does. It never goes away. Like you'll always have it, but it's just up to you. Like how are you gonna like figure it out? How are you gonna deal with certain things?
Exactly.
You know, you need to understand your patterns. You need to know, okay, this is I'm doing this, and I know I'm about to like freak out or have an anxiety attack. So once you know what happens, but yeah.
Exactly. So from 2017 to now, it's been much better because, as you said, it's always there, but now I know what it is. So when it comes, I'm just like, you know, I know how to deal with it. I know who to like, oh, it got triggered by this thing because I was here, or because I did this. This is why I'm going through it. So it's much better than what it was in 2017. So I think I've come a long way in terms of progress, like being able to manage it, because it's better, you know, they say the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Yeah.
So, like I know what it is, you know, whereas before I used to, you know, it used to surprise me, and that's like another shock.
I feel like with me it differs because like with you already like experience certain things, especially with your job, you already know what to do and what not to do. But with me, I feel like as where I grow up, I'm still like I'm 20. I'm starting to grow up, and there's certain things like they'll be like, oh come here, and I'm like, I don't know. So it does become really difficult. So for me, I feel like right now, my mental health issues, it's a rocky boat for me, but I still have to like learn. But I do know my triggers. Big crowds, it's a no. Fights, all of that, it's a no. So yeah, it's important to cut people off, right? If it means you have to get to that point to be sane, I feel like it's important. Yeah. Are there any physical things you can do to support your mental health?
Yeah, actually recently I've been trying to find more positive and physical like hobbies, you could say, that can like break my mind off work and off the responsibilities that I have. So you know, obviously meeting with the people that you love, like your friends and stuff like that helps. You know what I mean? Puts you in a positive space. But you also need to sort of find hobbies that will make you feel better. You know what I mean? Because most of the time when you go through anxiety, like attacks and stuff, you're alone. So you need to find something that you can do alone, you know. So I've been looking into obviously going back to the gym, and I'm also looking into getting into gaming. You know, something fun that I can just literally, it doesn't require much thinking. It's just breaks my mind off of things, you know what I mean? So,
makes sense. With me, I feel like I need to get back to drawing. I took a long break. I feel like that's like my safe space, just like putting all of my emotions and my thoughts on paper, whatever it is, even writing. I used to write out my emotions. I feel like I need to go back to that with like journaling, but also drawing, because that helped me a lot. Are there any topics or conversations you try to avoid?
I try to avoid. I'm a very like passive person, so I don't like argumentative. I think that's weird. Sort of environment. So I don't like arguing and stuff like that. And I feel like when that happens, because like I talk a lot too. So when I get into like a confrontational situation, I talk a lot, and after I talk a lot, now like I've lost my breath.
Yeah, it feels
now
like taking everything, like it's
you know what I mean? And then now I start experiencing tight chest and all those things, and I'm like, why did I work myself up? So those are the environments that I sort of try to stay away. Also, this is gonna be kind of weird, but friends, you know, when you're just around like a lot of people, that's a lot of different energies. So I'm like a spiritual person like that. So when I'm around a lot of people, not that like some people don't have the right intentions for you, but people just have different energies. They go through different things at home, and when you're around that type of environment, you take it and you're absorbing it. Exactly. So that can also like be literally a trigger that you don't even notice. So I had to like cut down on my friends and really stick with the people that like I know that my vibration is at the same level as them, and we can just vibe out, you know what I mean? And only when I have to like work in environments dealing with people I don't know, then I'll attack that. But I try to really create a safe place for myself.
Yeah, it's good to have 2 or 3 friends. You don't have to have 10.
Yeah.
Just, what is it like to live with your mental health issues?
You know, I think for me it's become like a normal thing that like I try not to make it a thing. You know, I try to make it like a normal thing, you know, because it's like, for an example, if someone like has a spiritual gift, like, you know, they would try to make it a normal thing, then try to identify themselves as the spiritual gift. So with like anxiety, like I try to just like, it is what it is, like it's a part of me. And in a way, I feel like everyone has mental issues.
Everyone.
You know, it's just
identified it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, because I'll have conversations with my friends and I'll be like, yo, I'm suffering from this, that, or I go through this, that, and they'd be like, yeah, I've gone through that. You know, they never realize that they probably have anxiety too, you know what I mean? It's just that thing of, we just like live with it. So yeah, like I try to treat it as like a normal thing that everyone goes through, and you know, it's just about living with it as opposed to, ish, I've got this issue
and I don't know how to get into this issue.
You know what I mean?
So I understand. How does it affect your personal life?
It affects it a lot because, as I said, I'm a particular person, so it will affect like the friendships you have, the relationships that you have, because even when you get into a relationship, you need like a partner that is understanding of it, that understands that you have these certain things, certain triggers, and also that understands that if you have an anxiety attack, like
they know what to do.
Yeah, you know, they don't think you're dying or something. You know what I mean? So it's something.
It does look scary.
Yeah.
That happens.
You know,
it looks terrifying.
It does, you know. Because my first time I had to get rushed to hospital like at night. Like you'll think it's a serious emergency. You know, in a way it is, but you know, yeah. So it really affects a lot of things in the corners of your life, and you need to be able to like communicate it with the people around you, even at work, bro. Like I'll tell them like straight up, like, yo, this last minute thing is giving me an anxiety. We need to plan things earlier, or you know what I mean? Like you have to communicate it so that everyone around you knows like what type of person you are, instead of you just having to suffer in silence.
Yeah. Because I feel like once people know what you're going through, but it will come to a point where people just might see you differently. Like they start acting weird, of like, Anathi's dealing with this again. Oh gosh, like what am I supposed to do now? So I feel like it's important to have those kind of people that be like, okay, he's going through this, I need to do this, I need to separate him, and to have friends that or family that know it's okay when he's doing this, we need to like take him away or just like remove certain things. That's really helpful. Like it shows that people actually understand and care, which is very, very important. How does it affect your working environment?
My working environment. So yeah, it affects it a lot because I work with people. You know, I work with I do like events, so I'm always around that environment of a lot of people, a lot of music, dealing with people who might be intoxicated and you know you sober, and you going through it, but they don't care. Like you know what I mean. And also at work, just the pressure. You know what I mean. So I think like, you know, as I said, like being vocal about it. Like, you know, and it doesn't have to be a serious thing, like you sit down your boss like,
yeah.
No, you know, it's just like telling them, like, literally in a conversation like this, like, hey dude, I have anxiety, I can't deal with that. And they're like, oh, you have anxiety? Like, yeah, like it's a normal thing. So that they know, like, you know what I mean? Like everyone around you knows, and you need to set it up in a way where like you have a working system. So even when I wake up, I make sure I wake up at a certain time so that I'm not running late, because if I'm running late and I'm speeding on the highway, there's traffic, anxiety. You know what I mean? So now it's like I've got to plan my life in a certain way so that things go well, you know, and obviously you're not perfect. So sometimes I'll have it like, you know, sometimes I will be running late and I will get anxiety, but that just tells me that, oh, that's a trigger. So you just learn from, you know, your life, but you need to personalize your life around your mental health, you know what I mean?
So since you say like you have to wake up at a certain time, what happens when you actually wake up and you're like not okay? Like let's say weekend because you work, you know, but like let's say you just wake up Sunday morning and you're just going through it. Like what is like your routine for that specific day when you're just overwhelmed, anxious, you don't know what to do?
For sure. So obviously, like I would probably, you know, if I have like severe anxiety on that day, I'll try to sleep it off. Like that's the bed. Nothing beats sleep.
Nothing. Honestly, yeah.
But yeah, if I wake up and I don't feel better, you know, I'll literally try to take it easy. You know, I'll have like certain teas. Like I'll have chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is great for like calming you down. Every time I actually go through anxiety, like if I'm taking certain medications, I'll have chamomile. Because chamomile also kind of makes you sleepy. Sleep is there too.
Sleep is important, guys. Sleep.
You know, yeah. So I'll like take chamomile and I'll just like take it easy on myself. I'll just make sure I don't have a stacked schedule. Like I'll literally cancel all plans and just be like, let me be okay first. So I think that's the approach I take. I don't necessarily like, like you know, have like there's no cure for anxiety. Like, yo, this is what you're gonna do and it'll go. You know.
You have to have patience with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, because like with me, when I'm like anxious, I know for a fact it starts affecting my sleeping patterns. I'll sleep at like 4 a.m. in the morning. That's when I know I'm going through it. When I start like sleeping at like 5 or 6, then I'll wake up at 8. You know, my room is a mess. I just don't know what to do, and that's when like I have to like come back to myself and like, okay, dude, like nah, you need to figure things out. But I feel like with you, who's like your safe space when you're like very, very like overwhelmed and all of that?
Well, now you say who, right? Well, now it's my son. Zizi. He's 2 years old. He's adorable. So, but before that, obviously, he's only 2 years old. So I had anxiety before that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have necessarily a particular person, you know, and that's what sucks because, like, when you're going through that, like, it would be dope to have someone there, like, with you, you know, or someone there, as you said, can be your safe space and you can feel better, you know what I mean? And I didn't necessarily have that particular person like before Zizi. So having Zizi, I think that's why my anxiety levels just went down because now like he's there. So when I come home and stuff, or you know what I mean, and he's there, like it just literally like anxiety is not even a thing.
You left it at the door.
You know what I mean?
You left it at the door.
So yeah, not that I'm telling people to go have babies.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Don't do that, you know. But yeah, it'll be cool to just have someone, man, who gets it and like it. The more help, the better.
Yeah, the more help. For me, it's my mom. Like she understands because she also like went through it. But like with her, I feel like she's admirable of seeing how I'm actually so young, but I'm able to figure out my triggers and see that okay, I went through it, almost like going to the hospital, having like my first anxiety attack. That was like a scare for her. But to also see that how I came back from it, it's really important. Like my mom is like my safe space, so everyone needs that. Everyone needs someone. So yeah, with these questions, I'm done like asking about you.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it's more of like asking questions about how people see anxiety in society. You know, like people don't really take it seriously, and I want to like get your input on it and how you feel about it.
Sure.
So how does society view mental health and physical health differently?
Yeah, I think the immediate society that I'm surrounded with, you know, I feel like understands, I'm not saying anxiety, but mental health.
Yeah.
You know, because our older generation, like, they didn't really get it, but I feel like they experienced it. Like, they had anxiety, they had depression. Like, just because, like, your parents don't understand you with anxiety now doesn't mean they never went through it. You know, like it wasn't titled for them.
Yeah.
But for us, there's a title for it. So I feel like people our age sort of know it, but it's almost like they also like embarrassed of it. It's like almost having a disability.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you have mental health, like something is wrong with you. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's how just people view it. And people are like hardcore hate. People will be like why don't you just deal with it? Everybody's got problems, you know, like people.
And it's like, dude, like I get everyone has problems, but like it's just like you need to put yourself in my shoes and try to understand like okay, like nah, this is like certain thoughts that like might just come up in your head and you're like, okay, why the hell did I think about that? Like what's going on with me? And it's like people just need to take a step back and be like, okay, now I understand you. What's going on? Like talk to me. You know, people need that. People need to understand it. So yeah. Should society change its view of mental health?
Yeah, and I think they will. You know, like as time goes on, they will, you know, get to a point where they get what it is. To the point where I feel like they will even have like mental health day. I know I was like,
that would be good.
Yeah, like I was checking out like I forgot what company it was, but they basically like this company is giving like employees 1 day off every month as mental health day type thing. So more companies are starting to do that. Like, so they definitely changing the narrative in terms of like mental health and you know including it in our community because yeah, as I said, it used to be excluded, but now it's like it's a part of us. Therefore, we need to accommodate it by having things like day offs at work and things like that. So they will change that perspective.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Do you want to add anything?
Nothing particularly. I think you know I'm just excited to be a part of this because it's a conversation, as I was saying, that I've always wanted to be a part of, and you know I think it's a conversation that also just needs to move from being a conversation to being something real where we can actually do something real on the ground with people. You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully you get like R1 million sponsorship and you can do a mental health tour.
Yeah, you know, that would be the first time. Like, let's go. But yeah, like honestly, I really enjoyed having this conversation because from having this conversation, I could see like how much you've changed from like the first time I came here and you were like sleeping on this couch, going through it to like now actually fully embracing. Would see like yes, you do have mental health issues, but it's not a problem. It's not a disease. It's not a disability. It's something that it is with me, but it is gonna make you stronger as you grow, as you go by with the days. So yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay guys, that's the end of this episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I know I did. I hope you guys did take something out of this conversation. So you guys, if you have friends, if you have family members, people that you know might be dealing with it, if you also dealing with it, for you to like take a step back and try to figure out, okay, I do have issues, but you're afraid to face them. I feel like this might help. That to see that there are two people, black people that are going through these mental health issues but are not afraid to confront them. It's a day by day. Don't be afraid of your demons. It's time to face them and be stronger. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your post notification every time so you guys could be notified actually every time I post a new video, and I'll update you for the next episode. I don't know who I'm gonna bring. You guys have to just wait and see. And bye.